So I just wanted to kind of move on to the next step of adding text into our picture right now. I just want to show you a couple things that you could do to add a little bit more detail to your image than add your text in there. So right now I got my picture of Chance right here, and I'm going to just do a little bit of editing with it. First off, I'm just going to move him over a little bit just so he's a little bit off center. In my background, I got like a couple things, and I'm going to close this so you could see. I have a picture of a city, and then I have a picture of a gradient background that I did. Now, one of the things that I'm starting off doing, and this is just a power move for when you're working, when you click, sometimes you might try to move something and another piece may move instead. What you want to do to just get your pieces to stay still and not move is to lock them. So you click these three little dots and you go to where it says lock. And this will lock your picture so it doesn't move and when you try to do anything else. So right now, the picture that's moving right now is my background for that, and I'm just going to lock that also. So now the only thing that moves is Chance. So I'm going to move him over to the side right here, and what I'm going to do is just add like a quick layer effect on it so that we can have a little different piece or a different look to it. So I kind of like that a little bit, but I think it's too dark. The screen is too bright. This overlay looks kind of cool right here. So I think I'm going to go for that. And I may just adjust some of my filters so that it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to take this background, I'm going to unlock it, go to my gradient, and I'm going to try it one more time, a little bit wider. There we go. And then maybe a little bit more like that. All right, cool. So I like that, what's going on right there. The next thing I want to do is try to bring out a little bit more Chance and a little bit less of the city. So I'm going to lower the transparency of the city so that you see more of Chance in the background. And that's actually looking pretty good. I like the way that looks right there. So I'm just going to leave that as is, and that'll be kind of like my thing. Maybe he's like looking over Chicago or something. So now when I'm going to add text, here's how we start off. First thing we want to do is just go to this letter T, and you want to click on it. Once you click on it, there's a couple different things you could do. First is just go to the box up top where it says add text. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to drop in whatever text I have here. And let's type it, best of Chance Rapper, volume 1. Right, so this is the Best of Chance the Rapper, volume 1. The album that I've created. Oh, did it get saved in there? Yikes, I think I lost it. So if that ever happens to you, just go to add text, best of So that's the Best of Chance the Rapper, volume 1. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. This one is my extra one that I'm going to delete. And then we have like a couple of duplicate things that popped up. So let me see if I can get rid of them so that we can see things that are going on here. Delete that, and that's better. All right, so we have our Best of Chance the Rapper right here. When we want to resize things, you could just use this little paddle to make things smaller and bring it closer together. On the top bar right here, you have tons of different things that you could choose from. So you have text that you could add in there. You have color that you could change. So I'm going to just change the color so that it's a little bit more visible. So it's just like a white. And then you can also increase the size of your text too. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to bring it down to about maybe 125. So that looks like a good size to me right there. I can pull this out if I need to space it a little bit more. And then I can also change my text to a different size, type, whatever the case may be. So let me use this Best of Chance the Rapper volume 1 text. That looks cool to me, and I like that. Now, if we want to add a little bit more to this and make this even more interesting, you can go to some of the settings. So with the settings right here, this does the line spacing where you could space out in between your sentences if you need to. And then you can also space out in between your letters so that there's a little bit more distance that way. Or you could do the opposite where it's less distance and it's a little bit more jam-packed together. And you can also do the alignment. making everything uppercase or lowercase, bold and italic, all the basics. Where things get more interesting is where you go to this A where it has the half star, because these are some of the other effects. Now, the first thing you could do is background. So if I click background, it's going to open up my color picker, and I'm just going to choose like a straight black background, and then that can make kind of my thing stand out. If I click punch out, it'll punch out the actual words, so it'll have like a almost like a mask going on right there. And I'm just going to go back and edit that some more. Maybe just undo that, or actually you can just click undo here and there. You can punch out the lines, you can punch out the full word. So there's a lot of different ways that you can approach it. And then on top of this, you could do an outline. So if I wanted to do an outline and really make it stand out more, I can do just like a pure white outline. I'm going to get rid of some of the punch out effects just so it stands out, and the background. And oof, this punch out is a little bit too big. So let me try, actually this outline is too big. So maybe we can make it a little bit smaller. No, so maybe the outline won't work that great with this text because it's just too thick. So maybe we can try something different. Let's see if we can add a different color. How about what's the opposite of red? Let's try this green. Okay, that's not bad right there. You have kind of like a light green going around it, so that's cool. But you also have shadow effect that you can add if you want to. This one you can kind of see it a little bit, but it works better when you have less busyness in the background. So let's say if this is kind of what I like, I can kind of leave it there and that can be my background. But there's also a way to add even more effects to the background, and that's what I'm going to show you in this next part. So take a second to just like try out some of the features by just going to text and using the top bar and using the styles, and just make something you like.